What's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time we're going to go over to law and crime, and this is in politics. Quote, if she had a gun with her, this case is easy. Boasberg tosses Trump assassination suspect a lifeline and lets her out of jail, reversing magistrate judge's decision. I will list the article writer and all of the details in the description. It says a woman accused of threatening to sarcastically unalive President Donald Trump, allegedly calling him a terrorist and a Nazi, was let out of jail by Chief U.S. District Judge James Boasberg last week and allowed to return to her apartment in New York City, just days after a magistrate judge ordered the opposite. Natalie Jones, age 50, formerly of Indiana, was initially denied bond over the alleged threat by U.S. Magistrate Judge Maxla Obadiah on April 21st in order to undergo competency evaluation while behind bars, according to the court documents filed in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. Boasberg, who was a Barack Obama appointee, chose to reverse the decision in a August 27th order, reportedly telling the court that he didn't feel Jones posed a threat to the public during another bond hearing held for her a day earlier on August 26th. Quote, if she had a gun with her, this case is easy, Boasberg said, according to the local CBS affiliate WUSA. But the question is, why shouldn't we consider this the rantings of someone with a mental illness with no ability to carry this out? Okay. It continues by saying Jones, who allegedly has schizophrenia, has been charged with threatening to unalive, kidnap, and injure the president and transmitting kidnapping threat using interstate commerce. Her alleged threats are said to have begun on August 2nd, with an Instagram account later connected to Jones made comments about Trump. According to the Justice Department, she called for his removal from office, labeled his administration a dictatorship, and blamed him for the extent of the loss of lives during the COVID-19 pandemic. The post continues under August 9th. The DOJ said, but it was comments Jones allegedly made on Facebook that specifically captured the law enforcement's attention. I am willing to sarcastically unalive this POTUS by disemboweling him and cutting out his trachea with Liz Cheney and all the affirmation present. An account tied to Jones wrote to the FBI on August 6th, according to the DOJ. 8 days later, in a comment meant for Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, the Lafayette, Indiana woman allegedly wrote, please arrange the arrest and removal ceremony of POTUS. Trump as a terrorist on the American people from 10 to 2 p.m. at the White House on Saturday, August 16, 2025. On August 15th, the U.S. Secret Service allegedly spoke with Jones in a voluntary interview. It was here where she allegedly made the terrorist and Nazi disparagements and allegedly provided more specific details about what she would do if she got the chance. According to the DOJ, Jones said she would unalive Trump at the compound if necessary, and that she had a bladed object that she would use as a weapon to carry out her mission of unaliving the president. Furthermore, she reported stating her desire to arrange all the lives lost during COVID-19 pandemic Oh, excuse me, not arrange, avenge. Sorry, my apologies. Avenge all the lives lost during the COVID-19 pandemic, for which she blamed Trump's first administration and its position on vaccines. Boasberg, like the magistrate judge, ordered Jones last week to undergo a mental health evaluation as a condition of her release. She will be on in-home detention, monitored by GPS while staying at her apartment in New York, per court records. In my opinion, Natalie Jones is not the kind of person who would be likely to physically harm anyone, a friend wrote in a letter of support for Jones' release. Certainly, she's never been expected to carry out an angry threat against anyone. While she had mental issues throughout her life, they have never, to my knowledge, resulted in violence or physical action. Another longtime friend from Indianapolis said in a separate letter that that she has known Natalie for over 40 years and she could never really physically hurt anyone. The pal described Jones as being open about her schizophrenia, and it seemed she had it under control with medication, according to the letter. Her social media posts were becoming more aggressive than usual with the new administration, but seen as she would tag different government agencies and try to recruit them to sell solar panels with her. I didn't take them seriously, the friend said. I don't believe keeping her in custody benefits anyone. I would be more than willing to make regular phone check-ins. I regret I haven't done it before now. Another longtime associate knew Jones' parents described her as mentally ill, a creative writer who is not physically a threat to anyone. He said that Jones would comply with the court orders if released. This is a shocking and embarrassing wake-up call for her, the associate added. The Justice Department, meanwhile, disagreed with Jones' supporters and noted in the court filings how she allegedly claimed it didn't matter what state she was in. I literally told the FBI in 5 states today that I am willing to sarcastically unalive this POTUS by, repeating what she said, blah, 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 which makes defendant's conduct extremely troubling, is that she took steps in furtherance of this threatening comment, a militaristic reference, the memo added. More from Law and Crime. Man threatens to unalive Trump, warned of descent into literal oligarchy. Uh, this is another case. On August 26th, the DOJ filed a response to Jones' appeal um, of the magistrate judge detention ordering, saying Jones was clear of danger to any others or danger to others and would likely fail to appear as required if she were released pending trial. Defendant's threatening statements constitute true threats, and her criminal conduct is not protected by the First Amendment, the DOJ response said. Um, Jones contends that she is not a danger to the community. This could not be further from the truth, the department added. Defendant is the exact type of person that should be detained pending trial. She displays a passion for violence as described through her threats towards POTUS. She does not care about the consequences of her statements and actions, as shown by her brazen decision to drive to Washington, D.C. the day after telling the law enforcement she would take the POTUS life. And she has mental health issues which could affect her ability to exhibit self control or cause her to discount the dangerousness of her actions going forward. And see, this is the thing that I've always talked about or try to have conversations about is mental health, especially more so when they were trying to get laws passed in Congress and, in conjunction with the gun laws and, even sometimes on a bipartisan basis. And it just got shot down every time. Um, why the reason for that is I have a few theories, but for the most part, it wasn't like an effort wasn't put forward to, definitely pay more attention to mental health, especially with all the, school incidents that happened. And yeah, crazy work. But continuing on with the article, it says federal prosecutors have told WUSA that they are weighing in an appeal on Boasberg's order. The judge said during Jones' bond hearing that if the Secret Service truly thought she was a danger and a threat, she would have been arrested the day federal agents spoke with her, per WUSA. They don't dissolute her from coming, Boasberg told the court. Doesn't that kind of suggest they didn't take those threats seriously? Court records show Jones is scheduled for a preliminary hearing and status conference on Tuesday. Her defense team has filed an unopposed motion to appear via Zoom. And that is the end of the article right there. This story just goes way more, past party lines, and that's one of the things that I have been trying to, get out there to people that I have had correspondence with back and forth. And most people are stuck on this. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, and my whole position is just simply we're all human beings. It's not a thing where, it doesn't matter where the party lines at. For example, when John Lennon was assassinated, um, I don't think anybody stopped to ask this man what his political position was, even though John Lennon was a outspoken activist. Him and his wife Yoko Ono, they spoke openly about government and how they felt about it and what changes need to be done, so on and so forth. Um, Not saying that it's the same, however, uh, the more important thing that needs to be talked about in the conversation that needs to be had is mental illness. Now, just recently, Trump has talked about reopening up insane asylums, and my whole position on that is that, you know, as far as my knowledge is, about insane asylums, they were closed down because it was, the facilities wasn't ran right. It turned into a for-profit thing where they would just, shove hundreds and hundreds of mentally ill people in there and do, shock therapy and other type of medical experiments on them. Some of them were subject, or were, the majority of them were subject to different types of abuse, different types of things, and it the treatments were not proven to help or rehabilitate any of these people. It got so bad that they started closing the insane asylums down. More so, it was worse for women that were in insane asylums, and also minorities that were in insane asylums. A couple of things went down in a number of facilities, and you know, it became a really big issue. So for him to come back and say, well, I want to, you know, open up insane asylums to put homeless people in or whatever the cause is, that's not going to fix the problem. It's only going to make the problem worse. It really is. Most of the people that live on the street are not mentally ill. Just briefly, they're not mentally ill, all of them. All of them do not take drugs. It's a good number of people that are on the street that do not take drugs. They just had different circumstances in life that led them to be in the position that they are. I think the focus should be, regardless if it's homeless people or regardless if it's mental health, to take a serious approach to it and develop a plan, a strategy to, instead of demonize these people, help these people uh, excel, help these people with resources so that they can be able to become productive members of society. And that's not to say that homeless people and mentally ill people are not productive members of society. There is a number of both groups of people that regardless of their situation, they still tend to find some type of employment or have some type of financial means, but not enough to actually help them be sustainable on their own, if that makes sense. But I don't know, you guys. Let me know down in the comments section. I would definitely love to have a real conversation about that in terms of, mental health or any other topic that I've spoken about in this video. So come chop it up with me in the comments section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as well. And thank you so much. As always, I do appreciate anyone that watches any of my videos. And with that, you guys, I will get with you in the next one. But always remember, be good to yourself first. Woke up looking for the late hot key. Keep a horn up, like a pussy hot beat. Pushing the blue rings, not a beat. Mr. Get off, I get off and